Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 178. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host Dane Cody. Dane, Cody, and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and whatever the hell we like. Primarily video games.
Or whatever the hell we like.
Yeah, minus Red Dead, because we don't have it yet.
Who cares?
I'm going to go pick mine up after this show's done recording.
Go for it.
By the time you're listening to this, reviews are out. The game's got a 97 on Metacritic. Everyone's loving it, pretty much.
Rick's Red Dead is his Red Dead boner is really big right now. You can't see it right now, but it's just peeking up over the webcam. I can just see the tip of his Red Dead boner. It's
I'm
a little bit lewd, but whatever. It is what it is. To each their own. I wish I wanted to play this game. I don't know why. I'm not caught up in this hype at all. I'm really not. I don't know. I'm just not even really interested.
You're not the only one. You can't like all the same things all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be like it would just be like a one-man show if we like the exact same things all the time.
I know, right? I don't know. Like I said, I wish I wish that I wish that I was interested in it, because like everybody's talking about it. It's like got a 97 on Metacritic. No, because it was PS2 only or PS3
Did you play
only.
Grand Theft Auto 5?
I played about like we've talked about before. I played like about 6 or 7 hours of Grand Theft Auto 5. I enjoyed my time with it, but it didn't draw me back. Like it never sucked me back in. Like there was not that moment where I like quit playing it and I went away from it and I was like thinking about it, wanting to play it, wanting to go back and like, oh man, I really want to play that again. And it just never really, I don't know. I stopped playing it. And when I went to go play games again, it just was like, I don't really want to, and I never picked it up again. It just never really happened.
I'm pretty excited to see what these 100-hour work weeks has churned out for us to play. All these people's blood, sweat, and tears. No, actually, I'm super excited just because the first one is one of my favorite games of all time. It was one of the best games of the last generation. And I think still possibly has one of the best video game endings ever.
See, and that's cool. Like I said, I want to play this game, but I don't know why. I'm just not.
Well,
it's
maybe
like I've got Assassin's Creed, I've got like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like I've got all these other games that are kind of and
excellent.
We're going to talk about things, other things that I've been playing and stuff, and like I don't know, I like it. It's here essentially tonight / tomorrow. Everybody's talking about it, everybody's hyped about it, and I don't know. Like the only Rockstar game that has like hit hard for me was Vice City. I think that's the only one that I actually played through and beat the whole game. Like all the rest of them, I fall off hard. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it's release window timing, just because we have so many good games right now. You're like, I already have these awesome games, and
they're all fucking 100-hour games. Like I'm 40 hours plus into freaking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I know I'm probably not, and I know for a fact that I'm less than halfway through the freaking story.
I don't even know. I gotta figure out where I'm in that game.
It's like,
I guess I don't have anything exciting to share from the weekend. Unless you do. I guess we can get into what you've been playing.
Yeah, I got nothing going on this weekend. It was great. It was glorious. I loved it.
As you just said, we're both still playing Assassin's Creed. And the thing I've been doing, I've been playing it like every waking moment. Every chance that I've had, I've been doing remote play in the morning a little bit, in the evening as much as possible.
Right.
I'm almost level 40. And
wow.
I don't think I'm even. I don't know. How can you find out online?
I don't know if you can do it online if you're playing it on PS4. You can
on PC.
If you're playing it on PC, you could log into your Uplay and look at it there. But they don't seem to cross over between the stupid things. But yeah, I don't know. Last time I checked, which was like Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday I played in the morning, and you were... It was funny. At that point, you had less time in the game than me, but you were further along in the story and stuff than I was. But you've clearly played a bunch more since then, because you were definitely not...
I've banged up a few more.
Yeah.
A few more story missions. Had some...
Do you know what chapter you're in now, or?
I don't know. It doesn't highlight it, does it?
No, you can look, like, the way I've been, like, figuring it out is I've noticed, because the trophies pop, so every time I finish a chapter, the trophy will pop. And
is there like a...
So I've looked on, like, what my trophy progress, and I think I had finished, like, chapter 4 or something like that was where I was at.
You can do that on the app, right?
I believe so.
It doesn't make for good radio for me to be looking up an app.
Maybe we're just looking at the app right now. You know?
I don't think you can. Can you look it just right up? Yeah, no, I'm level 39. I've been cranking away on some of the story missions. I've had some big reveals and big stuff happen.
Yeah.
Don't want to get into spoiler territory.
No.
Obviously.
Yes, you can definitely look at your trophies on the app. I'm looking at my trophies right now.
Why can't I look at it? Why am I so stupid?
I don't fucking know. It's right there on the app. So yeah, I'm at chapter 4. I finished chapter 4, so I'm playing chapter 5 right now, and I know you're past that. I think you would... last I looked, you were 2 chapters ahead of me, so I don't know if you've managed to get further than that or not.
Are the trophies named chapter?
They have a number beside them if you're looking at your trophies. They're near the top, and there's one that's just got their bronze trophies 1, 2, 3, 4. So yes, they do have names like Evil Unearthed. The Bright Minds was chapter 4.
Why can I not see this? Why am I so dumb?
Look at my webcam. Look at it.
I see. I am really dumb.
I mean, I'm glad you said it and not me, but...
So, I was looking for numbers in the text, not the actual trophy pictures with the giant freaking numbers.
You dork.
I must be on chapter 7 because I got the trophy for chapter 6.
Okay, so yeah, there you go. So you finished chapter 6. So yeah, you're like 2 chapters ahead of me.
So it looks like there's like 3 hidden trophies after that. So is that 7, 8, 9? So maybe there's 9 chapters.
I believe there's 9 chapters. Yeah, from what I've heard. Now I don't know. Again, depending on how you play, those chapters are either going to go by quickly or they're going to take for fucking ever. I mean, I've been playing chapter 5 for a shit long time. It feels like I swear I played almost 10 hours in chapter 5 at this point. But I also keep getting sidetracked. So
yeah, I've been cranking through story missions.
Right.
I've done some side stuff. I went and hunted down a bunch of the cultists to get my level 5 spear.
Yeah, so I finished my first grouping of the main ones. All the ones last week when we talked, you were like, yeah, I finished that. I did the same thing. I finished the same one that you had finished.
Did you notice that you get the whole armor set at the current level?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That was pretty sweet. And then I put it all on and got a trophy. I was like, yeah.
I'm all blinged out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, that game. It's fucking good, though. It's so good.
It is good. That's why that's the one thing I'm torn. Well, actually, there's a couple things I'm torn about. My first world problems. Red Dead coming out. And number 2, that I'm still knee deep in Assassin's Creed, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. It's really, really good.
I'm a powerhouse now. Like, I wreck shop.
Oh, dude. Yeah. It's...
I got a bunch of level 3s for a lot of my abilities.
Yeah.
'Cause I went around hunting down tablets and stuff.
I noticed that you had a lot more abilities than I did.
Yeah.
I was like, you motherfucker. Also, I'm noticing that XP boost for you seems to help a lot.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
I've been contemplating it just because I've been seeing how much further you are in this at the time, less time played, and yet you were like 3 levels ahead of me at the time when I looked, which obviously you're further ahead than that now. So
I think
I don't know.
The one thing I really like about the experience booster is like I feel like I'm going to get to level 50 before I get to the end of the game. So then I could be max level doing side stuff, effing shit up, enjoying the best abilities, the best gear.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I feel like with the other grind, I think you could beat the game before you actually hit level 50.
I believe you have to hit level 40. I believe somebody was saying like you had to be. I think it was like a minimum of like 42. I think to actually beat the story. So, take that with what you will or whatever.
Wicked bow that turns your normal arrows into poison arrows.
Yeah,
automatically. That's pretty sweet.
That's really sweet.
I'm really enjoying the game still, but I guess that's enough of Assassin's Creed. We got a new game.
Yeah,
we both got it.
Yeah,
thanks to a game provided by Ubisoft.
Yes,
actually, you got it first before me. I felt bad for you, and they sent me a code for Starlink, and I'm like, I'm going to be a good boy and give this to Dane. And
I played so Starlink Hunt for Battle for Atlas. I got the Switch code, so I've been playing it on Switch. We're only playing the digital versions,
deluxe version with all the stuff,
which is pretty rad. This is the game that does have the Toys to Life component, so you can buy ships, which you
can totally ignore.
Or you can just buy the digital version. And if you want to buy everything, buy the digital deluxe version, and you'll just have a fraction of the cost. Everything in the game.
Apparently, it's like I was reading a story. I can't remember what site it was on. Maybe it was IGN. It's something like $250.
Whoa! If you were to buy all the actual Toys to Life, wow.
Yeah. Whereas the digital deluxe version is like $90 or something. 90 American. I think it's like 110 Canadian.
Yeah. So we got the $110 digital deluxe version of the game. I got it on Switch. You've got it on PS4, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've played it in a mix of handheld.
I kind of wish I had it on Switch, but
see, it's funny. That's actually really funny that when you're like, yeah, I got it on PS4, I was a little bit like, fuck, I kind of wish I got it on PS4. I feel like the only thing with the Switch is I feel like it would look a lot better on the PS4.
It looks pretty good on PS4, but I wouldn't say it's amazing.
I realize that. I just mean like there's a bit of rough edges on the Switch where you're like, this looks a little bit rough. Like I bet it doesn't look quite like this on another platform.
Mm-hmm. And see, I'd like the Switch version because then I could play it in my van on breaks very easily.
So I actually started playing it in handheld mode. This is one of the first games that has actually made me... Things are small. Like the text and the UI and stuff is really small in that game when you're playing it in handheld mode. It's the first game that's kind of made me go like, what the fuck? And I'm like holding the thing close to my eyes when I'm trying to like, and even my wife like looked over and she's like, wow, that's really small. Like, do they expect you to have like, so I know it's not just me and I'm like getting old as hell. Cause I mean, that is happening, but I know that it's
for the eye doctor for Dane.
I just went not that long ago. I mean, I know my eyes are good. So, but it's like kind of the first game that I've like really like, there was a few times where I was like, fuck, like, So I started playing it on handheld mode. Played probably, I don't know. Actually, I played almost until my battery was dead. So probably close to 3 hours ish. One thing I will say, I really like that game. It's really cool. Like I'm really enjoying it.
It's like Star Fox meets No Man's Sky. And quite literally, the Switch version has Star Fox.
Yes, he does. I'm playing as Star Fox.
I kind of wish I could just buy the R-Wing. I just want the toy to display.
Oh,
you can't buy it separately. No. You can only buy it with the full Switch game.
Mm-hmm. So, how do I even... So this game is, like you said, it's like Star Fox meets No Man's Sky. I started it in handheld mode, played it till almost the battery went out. Then I plugged it in and I actually played it a whole bunch more. I wasted a whole bunch of time not realizing some stuff. So in this game, you fly down to planets and you also fly into space. And you, like, when you're out in space, you can, like, do dogfights, and it's like a Star Fox game, like you said. Like, you're cruising in through space, you've got bogies, and it's like a giant space map. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. You can, like, lock on, you can shoot enemies and all that kind of stuff. And then when you fly down to the planet, it's like you go talk to people, you get quests, you go scan stuff, or you go over here and you shoot this other stuff, but
collect resources.
Yeah, but it's kind of like almost like your aircraft is like a hover. It's almost like it's hovering all the time.
Yeah, you can go into hover mode, or you can fly around too.
You can fly around,
but it's a little easier to explore structures and stuff when you're hovering over the surface.
Yeah, and you can like jump, so it's like you're cruising along and like and you can kind of bounce, and you can do like barrel rolls and stuff in the air. So when you're down on the surface of the planet, that's generally kind of how you spend a lot of your time, is sort of in that mode. The first planet that I was at when I was playing, I spent a ton of time. I was on this planet, and I was like flying all over it. I was like doing all this stuff, and like some of it didn't seem like it was popping, if you will. Like it wasn't like finishing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm like, how do I finish this stuff? Like I'm like here, I'm standing in front of this thing, and like,
no, you're still
nothing's
training.
happening.
We want you to move on.
Exactly. It totally was like, it wanted me to go to the next planet. And when I got to the next planet and did a bunch of like kind of the story missions, then all of that shit actually like unlocked.
It does the full Assassin's Creed thing with the title card like an hour or two into the game.
Yeah, it totally does. But it kind of sucked because like I had spent a bunch of time on that first planet. So now it's like, it's great because I've essentially unlocked like I think 90% of the first planet. You got the map
unlocked at least.
Yeah.
I figured we were going back, so I just did all the story missions. So I got to the second planet.
Okay.
And started doing stuff on the second planet.
Then the other thing is that there's different factions in the game. There's sort of the main enemy that you're like attacking, and like that's the main big boss. That's the whole reason the story is happening. And then there's like these outlaw factions, and they have these bases, and they send outlaws down to the planet, and they attack, and then they like fuck with pirates. Shit. Yeah, they're like space pirates. So again, first planet ran into these outlaws, and they're like, yeah, we traced back where these outlaws are, back to their base. So you can like, go take them out if you want. I'm like, cool. So like I pull up my mini map, and I'm like cruising around the planet. I'm like, there's no fucking outlaws here. What the hell are they talking about? So I killed some more outlaws. They told me the same thing. I just was like, okay, well, maybe it's bugged. I was like, whatever. So like I flew to the next planet, and I did some stuff. And it was after I was on that second planet, I don't remember why, I zoomed out of my map away from the planet. And that's when I realized, oh shit, these outlaws are on like these giant space dredges way the hell out in space. So here I was trying to...
He wasn't on the planet.
No, I had to fucking fly off into space, go kick their ass, then fly back to the planet. So anyways, so I totally did that. So I've taken out a couple of the outlaw bases. It's pretty cool. There's like, it's like a whole thing where you gotta get through the defenses. They got these big turret guns, and then once you kind of kill the turret guns, then a whole bunch of enemies fly out from inside the like ship, and you gotta like take all them out. And the like outlaw captain or whatever you want to call it is they fly out and they're kind of like an ace, if you will, and so like you kind of end up in this cool dogfight with them, and then once you kind of win, you got to fly inside the ship, and there's like a bunch of stuff that you can grab and gather and mods and different things like that,
and then you can
fly out. You know what? I was actually really bummed out. Like, there was at no point I'm flying into this thing. There's like debris and everything flying around. I get into the middle of the ship, I grab all the stuff, and I'm like looking around, and I'm looking around, and I'm looking around, trying to find. I'm like, okay, am I missing something here? Like, is there like
a reactor?
Yeah, like I totally thought that. I was like, okay, there's got to be something here I can blow up and then like leave and it will explode or something. And then, at least from what I can tell, I couldn't find anything, and I spent longer than I care to admit. But yet, when I pulled it up on my map, it was not bright anymore. So clearly, like I must have completed it. But the weird thing is that normally when you complete it, underneath the name, it will say like what the resources are. So there's like so many resources, and you'll get so much money or whatever for doing it. And usually, when you complete it, that goes away. And that didn't go away. So I'm wondering that might be a case of maybe I got there too soon, and in the story, maybe it's on the third planet they tell you about that.
They train you that part.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a keener, trying to do everything too soon.
Yeah. I don't know how long. I'm on the second planet. I don't know. It still seems like it's still tutorial-ish right now.
Oh, yeah. That's the second planet is where that's where you unlock all of the... That's where they teach you that if you go to the various like mining or like things or whatever, and you help out the guys. So you go there. If you help them out the first time, then the next time when you come back, you can upgrade their outposts and stuff like that, and they'll actually
upgraded an outpost
every like 15 minutes or whatever it is. You'll get a bunch of money. So the more of those that you have on the various planets, the more money that you get every 15 minutes given to you, or 5 minutes or whatever it is, which is pretty cool. So there's kind of an incentive to help these people out, because long term, it's like they're mining and they're like getting stuff together.
It's kind of funny because I played it at E3, and that opening planet is like... It's like a condensed version of all the stuff you do in like the first two planets, but plus they also sneak a big giant boss battle in there to give you a sense. You know, it's that vertical slice of this is the stuff you can do in the game.
I've taken on a couple bosses.
Cool. It controls quite well. It looks well. Looks good. I like the way it flies. I like the way the ship flies and controls. Yeah. The dogfighting in space is pretty cool.
So that's the other thing is... because we have the digital deluxe versions, when you're playing, you can swap in and out all the ships and pilots and weapons all at will. So you can like jump into the game and you can put on you can put a gun on each side of your ship. You can face it forward, you can face it backwards, so you can shoot backwards if you want. You can put wings on wings on wings. I added a couple wings and it made my ship fly all weird because they're heavy. So it does take into account like weight. So like when you add more stuff, I
haven't been that creative. I didn't even realize you could do that.
Oh yeah,
I should have, because we did it at E3. When that's the one thing with the toys, you snap all the stuff on the ships, right?
Right. Yeah.
I do feel like it is a little easier to just hit the button and right trigger, left trigger, load up the different weapons.
Totally. So as you play, you're going to get mods, and you can add those mods to your weapons and to your ship and to your pilot.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of mods, but I haven't invested any yet.
Oh yeah, then you start upgrading your main ship, which gives you like the big ship.
Yeah, big ship.
Not the one that you fly, but the one that you're kind of a part of.
The capital ship. I don't even know. Yeah, base. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. And when you start upgrading that one, it'll start giving you boosts. Like, for example, I've got the ability now to combine mods. So, like, I can combine, like, 2 or 3 normal or common mods into a rare mod. And so
like
on and so forth.
Boosts and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, there's, like, damage boosts. There's, like, helps with the speed of your ship. Some of them help with evasion. Some of them will help you. Like, there's all the regular kind of stuff that you would expect. This one adds +2 speed, and this one helps with your gun cooldown, or this one all that kind of thing that you would expect like that. each gun that you get, they level up. So like you can increase the damage and increase the level on the weapons. The ships level up. The pilots all level up as well. There's different pilot skills. Like each of the pilots has a unique ability to them. And as you play, like say for example, you're on a mission and you get your ass handed to you, instead of like restarting the mission, you can actually go in and like change pilots. Ship. Yep, you just change a ship. If you were playing with the Toys to Life, you would put another ship on the portal, I guess, if you will. Similar to like Skylanders, where
it's
if
your
one of them dies,
they snap onto the controller. It's like an adapter that goes on your controller.
Yeah. And then if once you're done that battle, you can go to one of the outposts and you can pay some money and bring back the ship that you just lost, or ships that you just lost in the last battle. So yeah, so there's kind of
that the actual toys is kind of like having extra lives.
Yeah, totally.
Which
and
is
I mean,
obviously, if you have
not having the toys,
you can always switch if you do have the toys, you can switch to playing the digital version. And then, obviously, you'll have unlocked whatever ships and guns and weapons and pilots you scanned into the game.
Yeah,
so you can play digitally without having to... Pardon?
Essentially, the stuff that you've paid for, if that's the,
so
like,
you just
the version
wouldn't
that you're
have
playing.
you just wouldn't have to physically swap it.
Yeah. So like I said, we're essentially playing the deluxe version with absolutely everything unlocked. All the pilots, all the ships, all the guns, everything's already just unlocked. So you can just swap it out at will.
That's cool. It's like a good version of Star Fox with some light No Man's Sky-ishness when it comes to the exploring the planets and the light creatures. And there's no building, though. So that's like, if people are looking for that, it doesn't have a building aspect. It's all about the combat and the exploration.
I will say, flying along on the planet and then essentially just like hitting the one button to start flying.
Your boost button.
And then all of a sudden just pointing your ass straight up and just boosting off the planet, and you just fly straight into space. And it's seamless. There's no loads. You're just cruising.
Pretty
and
cool.
Then it's just like No Man's Sky. I mean, you're on the planet, and then now you're in space, and you can just fly to the next planet. It feels fantastic. Like, it feels so good.
Did they call it hyperspeed or something else? Like, I guess during the tutorial, you're jumping to that second planet.
Yeah, you use like warp speed or
mode,
whatever,
and then you get pulled out of it by a trap.
Yeah,
so like that for like the introduction to the pirates, they pull you out of your hyper jump or hyper speed, whatever you want to call it.
I was going too fast. I just blew right through it.
I got pulled out of it in like an asteroid field, and then we started fighting.
Yeah, I stopped and messed them up, took them all down,
which is kind of neat.
And then I got sidetracked a whole bunch out there because there's a whole bunch of stuff in space as well.
Yeah.
Like, game's surprisingly big. There's 7 planets, I think.
I have no idea.
I've
only been to 2.
They're all quite large. And yeah, there's... The other thing I will say, too, is that the guns have... some of them are like heat guns or cold.
Oh, there's like
various elements. And what's really neat is that some of the enemies are weak to various elements. But what's really neat, it's the combinations. So like I've been using like one of the Gatling gun fire guns.
I'm using the opposite. I'm using the ice one.
But that's the thing. I got the ice one on the other side. Oh. So I'm using both. So like what happens is you hit them with the heat, and then the enemies over like they get too hot, and then you hit them with the ice, and then they get, what do they call, thermal? It's like thermal shock, and it like stuns them kind of. And so I'm hitting them with both all the time, and it's like totally messing them up. It's awesome. It's been like super solid.
I was doing the ice Gatling gun with one of the concussive. It's like basically like a shotgun. Yeah. So I'd freeze them, and then I'd shotgun them and shatter them.
Yeah, that one works really good too. Some of the other ones that you get have like a big ball around them, and if you fire one of the element guns into it, that ball will turn into like a flaming ball.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that weapon. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah,
but you charge
it up. The vortex gun or something like that, and it fires a vortex, and then if you fire ice or fire or whatever into it, then that whatever's in that vortex is like hot and like turns into a swirling fire vortex. It's pretty cool. So there's like that whole element too. So like sometimes when you roll up on like a big baddie, like I had a big boss, and when I rolled up on him, it kind of paused momentarily in the game, like let me know, like, you know, he might be weak against these elements. And so I was like, okay, cool. And so I like swapped out to those and then took them on.
And you can save like your favorite loadouts and stuff. I haven't played with it, but I noticed there's like a whole loadout section where you can like customize your ship loadout completely. So if you want to like go back to like your favorite combo in like one click, you can do that as well, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. No, it's I'm really enjoying it. I don't know, I like playing it with Assassin's Creed. It's kind of like they're so different.
Oh yeah, they're so different.
And it's just kind of nice to have like they're both, because they're so different. It's like that palate cleanser. When I'm not playing Assassin's Creed, it's not like I'm playing a similar game to it. It's something very different. And then back to Assassin's Creed.
I see it being a lot of fun if you had like one of your kids was of age of playing video games. Like I know my daughter would love the colors and the space creatures and stuff. Like, because it's so bright, like the palette.
If this game came out when I was a kid, I would have lost my mind. I would have dropped so many hours.
And that's the thing, though; it has the depth that it's not just a throwaway kids game, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Disney Infinity games were like the toys of life. They were like, they're cool. They had a lot of style and production value, but like the depth of the game wasn't there.
Sucked.
Like they didn't, like you could suffer through it with your kids, but it didn't have a really good solid game underneath, whereas this actually has a good game.
One could argue that that's why the Disney Infinity went away real quick, though.
But like this has a really good game. The Toys to Life, I don't know, you take it or leave it. You don't really need it, obviously, which was a smart move on their part.
Oh, I agree, because I think like if this would have came out only Toys to Life, I don't know. So I think by them,
it's still a good game, but it's just expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
The Toys to Life version is just expensive. So, but that you can just buy this game and without having to go into that facet of it and actually save a lot of money. Like that's very consumer friendly. It's kind of like just get the toys if you want them to collect, and you actually are into the whole collecting aspect of them, right?
Totally. Yeah,
they look cool. I just wish they had the Star Fox one. I would buy it in an instant.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that they don't sell that one by itself, but
I
like kind of surprised they don't. But I guess if you're buying it for Switch, though, then you're getting it regardless. So
yeah,
they're like, of course you could only use it on the Switch version. So
it doesn't make sense to sell it separately. But it's like, God damn it, maybe I'll find it used and I can get my. This is like one of the best.
It's pretty cool.
It's an R-Wing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you have your whole team. So like I was surprised at how much of the Star Fox is in the game. Like they've actually added a whole, like the main story sort of starts to happen, and then Star Fox and his crew, you know, Lippy and Slippy and everybody rolls up, and you've got all of them with you, and like you kind of bump into the main, you know, cast of the game, and they've actually integrated it surprisingly well. And there's actually even some Star Fox only like missions and levels and stuff. So like there's stuff that you know, as Star Fox, they're like, hey, you gotta go over here, and like so there's this whole other like sort of side Star Fox only stuff, which is really cool. One might argue it's the best Star Fox game in a while.
Yeah.
Which is kind of too bad and kind of awesome all at the same time.
Yeah, that last Star Fox game was a steaming pile.
Yeah, it's not great, which is too bad.
I got my Soul Calibur 6, which I think, did I complain about last week? I don't know if I complained about that on air. Oh, I complained on Twitter or somewhere, or on our Discord. I can't remember. Oh, I got it from Walmart for $50.
Okay.
So that like might not seem like a big deal for Americans because you guys' games are $60. But it's $79, so basically $80. So it's like $30 off. And I'm like, I'll get it for $50. I really like Soul Calibur. They didn't even ship it until like last Wednesday or this Wednesday. So like the game came out last Friday.
Wow.
Wow. Like if I wasn't getting a deal on it, I would have I couldn't cancel it because it was in progress since last week, which makes no sense.
Crazy. That's like,
talk about not getting it on time. That's for sure.
I guess it's not like you could go into a store and pick it up and be like,
I could have. But the problem was I got it for $50. It wasn't $50 in the store, so I had to put up with that. So I got it. I started the story mode. I haven't got very far, to be honest, because I just got it.
And then,
yeah, it's Soul Calibur so far.
Yeah,
I like it.
Good.
I made a character. He doesn't look silly. He doesn't have a big dong on him.
I'm a little disappointed in you, actually.
Have you seen that? This is so. People have been doing some ridiculous things with the character creator in this game online.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
like if you're
people have been making some utter nightmares
like that.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll have more to report next week because I literally have had the game for less than 24 hours.
Right.
But
that's fair.
Word on the street's good. And what I honestly, like I said, I played it at E3. I enjoyed it at E3. And I really like Soul Calibur.
I loved 1 and 2.
I will say
1 for the Dreamcast is honestly like that's a classic. It's so good.
Oh god, yeah. When that game came out, I remember seeing that at E3 1999.
Yep.
That was like mind blowing seeing that on the show floor. It's like, oh my, this is a video game home console? Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I played the shit out of that game with my friends.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember which one we played the most of.
For me, it was definitely like Soul Calibur. I know
2.
Friends played a lot of 2. That was the one with like the gift character or the special characters.
For Spawn on Xbox.
Yoda on GameCube. No, sorry, Zelda on GameCube. It
was Link.
And
it was Darth Vader. Was it
Darth
Vader?
That was later.
That was later?
Yeah, it was what's the Tekken character on PS4
Hayachi?
or on PS2?
Is it Hayachi?
Yeah. Yeah, those were like the 3.
Yeah, that's right, because Yoda and Darth Vader were the next, or the version after, wasn't it?
Yes.
Xbox was Yoda and Darth Vader was PlayStation, something like that.
That sounds right.
Either way.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that the story mode is compared to like the Mortal Kombat Injustice ones. Oh, man.
I feel like I don't know if you can really compare them though. Like that's
but
like those story modes are known for being awesome in those games. Well, I mean,
I know,
as
like
awesome as a fighting game can be.
That's the thing. Like the story modes in Mortal Kombat, Injustice, like you think all the other fighting games would be like, oh, okay, we got to up our game and do that, and like none of the Japanese fighting games
except
do
for
that.
Tekken. Apparently, like Tekken 7's like story mode is rad. I personally haven't played it, but hearing how good it is from a lot of people, kind of makes me want to pick that game up just to play
Tekken.
it.
I have Tekken 7.
Yeah,
and the story mode is a huge improvement, but it's still nowhere near like what the guy what NetherRealm? Yeah, has done with their fighting games is amazing.
Yeah,
and it's just disappointing that not everyone else is caught up. They're so far behind in that aspect. Like literally, the Soul Calibur like story mode has like 2D faces and text. Like it's just like really, that's like so last gen.
Yeah, time and money. I guess they just didn't want to spend the time and money. I don't know.
I guess, yeah, we talked about Assassin's Creed, we talked about Starlink. Next week, we'll talk about Red Dead.
One of us will.
I'm sure I'll be blabbing about it in our Discord and on Twitter over the next little while.
I'm sure this time tomorrow, you'll have a giant Red Dead boner, and you'll be waving it all over the internet.
I've seen some leaked footage before today, and I'm like, oh my god, wow. The attention to detail is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the news and stuff. The news. News. Don't have much to add to this. We talked about it last week. Since we're talking about Red Dead. Over at Kotaku, our friend Jason Schreier put together a follow-up story to all this crunch talk.
Right.
Basically inside Rockstar's games culture of crunch. and he talked to something like 90 plus current and former employees. It's a really long read.
Yeah, it's quite the article.
Really
I feel like, honestly, if this is something that you've been interested in and you've been wondering sort of like what's what and who said what and what kind of the truth is in all this, like, this is a really good article to go through and read.
So basically,
and he really lays it out. He talks to current employees, past employees. He even talks to some of their like senior management, which was in and of itself quite amazing because they're not exactly known for being very open about, well, anything. And he really digs deep. Like he goes and tries to really get to the bottom of it. I personally have not had a chance to read the whole article yet. I do know, like you said, it's long. Like it's definitely like this is, probably a 20-minute read.
Basically, this is just some recommended reading if it's something you're interested in.
Yeah, he really kind of gets it down to the bone, and it does his best of trying to see what is going on, which I feel like is really important.
And other devs have come out and spoke as well, saying, that we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, specifically, like, Ubisoft Montreal, I believe, who worked on Odyssey. It's like, yeah, we didn't do crunch.
Yeah.
Our work practices are very different. No one praises us, or no one talks about that either, right? So it's like just getting the bigger picture, getting this whole conversation out in the open and people talking is a good side effect.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just going to take, like, I was thinking about it today. I'm like, it just literally is going to take someone. You got to have money is the problem.
Yeah.
Because you got to create a team, and someone outside of all the studios has to form a union office, basically.
Yeah.
So say me, you, and Jason. We're forming the VGD, Video Game Developer Union.
Okay, sure.
Local 420.
420, nice. Yeah.
So me, you, and Jason form,
but 420 works too.
We form the union, and we go to Rockstar, and it's like, hey, everyone who wants to be part of a union, we will represent you against management. And that's what it's going to take, is someone outside, so that employees don't have to put their neck on the line. Because whoever wants to try and form the union that works at any dev, you could most likely say goodbye to their job. So it's going to take an outside group to create the union to represent the employees, right? Because that's all a union is, right?
Or a big enough company,
or an existing union.
All of the employees in an existing company all manage to get together and say, like, we are forming a union. Like, this is what's happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the other flip side, right? Is like, you would have to get, but every single one of those people.
Yeah, you got to have everyone, or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or the people who tried to form it end up getting fired. That's why it has to be someone. That's why it has to be someone from outside. It would make it much easier, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I was thinking about it today a lot, and I'm like, there's a solution here, and there could be a very powerful video game union. Like, it could be forming right now as we speak that we're unaware of.
Yeah.
It's a huge industry. It makes no sense that there isn't a union. The voice actors have a freaking union.
Yeah, I mean, they're part of the, like, Actors Guild, though,
obviously.
Right? So,
but, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's facets of this industry that's unionized. So
it kind of amazes me that, like, with the actors, the Film Actors Guild and the actors unions and things like that, that's the thing that kind of blows my mind, is that, this type of work, the type of industry that the video games are, is already kind of represented by a similar union. Like, that being said, is like, I think that it's also partly a cultural thing, though. I think that if you've got a company like this and you've got guys, working like crazy, like, it's not just somebody coming in and saying, like, we're going to unionize. I think a large part of it also has to do with culture. And if you've got people at the top that aren't necessarily even saying like you have to work 100-hour weeks or you have to work 60-hour weeks. But if they're doing it and they're buddy with other people that are with them that are doing the same thing, and you've got a company where those are the people that are getting promotions and those are the people that are leads on stuff and these are the people that are doing that, and the people that are working 40-hour weeks and 45-hour weeks or whatever are the ones that are kind of ostracized or maybe don't last very long and so on and so forth. You've got a culture that is not explicitly saying you need to do this, but because of the culture itself, it's happening, and that's also a problem, right? And obviously, yes, unions could help that because it's saying no, you're not allowed to essentially do that. And the flip side of that as well is some people, some people love what they do and the way that they work. Maybe they don't work as fast as other people, but they enjoy being at work for longer periods of time. Maybe they're, single in their 20s and they're just hey, I just want to work. I'm happy to be here at the office. I'm making video games. This is what I love to do. I don't, need to go home or whatever. I feel like as somebody who's been in that position in my younger years, I know what that's like. I've definitely, put myself and worked super hard and super long and stuff like that because I ain't got nothing else to do. I might as well just make the money or whatever.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? When people are willing and want to do it. But
right.
It's very different when you're forced to do it and, you're not coming home for dinner and you're ignoring your family and your other responsibilities in life because if you don't do that, you're going to be without a job, right?
No, absolutely. And so I think that's also the other thing too, though, is that culture needs to change, right? You can't bring a union in and say oh, this is bad if you've still got a culture of people in your company pushing that kind of stuff, right? That's the other flip side of it. It's that work-life balance, right? So I think it is definitely a bit of a complicated question, but that being said, I think as an outsider looking in on the industry, I feel like sooner or later, for the sake of every person that we love building our video games, that something's got to give, right?
Yeah, it's got to get
can't
better.
Go on forever.
No, it's got to get better.
So, but yeah, anyways, go check out that story. It's crazy, and they go really in depth.
And I'm sure it's not going to be the last either. Speaking of Red Dead 2, official companion app was revealed a couple days ago.
Okay.
I believe it'll be available tomorrow on iOS and Android, or the 26th.
What's that get me? What's that going to do for me?
It lets you...
Let me guess. Hold on.
Wait.
A map?
Yep.
Because, of course, it's going to be a map. An inventory of some sort?
I don't know about inventory.
Story beat, inventory...
Definitely has a map. You can set waypoints.
Yeah. Oh, see, there you go. Second screen, buddy. Second screen
functionality. I haven't used one of those in a while, but I do find it annoying. That's one thing I will complain about with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I feel like the map takes a while to load up. If I could do that on...
You know what? You're not wrong. It depends, though. If... Sometimes the map takes a second or two. The other thing I find is that from time to time, if I use Icaros and I fly too far away from my character,
then there's a full load.
It has to come back, and that takes a little while to get back.
It's not terrible, but it's weird when there's no loading.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of like a PSA.
Okay. You know
what?
If
you're playing the game, check out the companion app.
Now that you mentioned that, I could actually see a map being handy in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because I could just put it on my phone or on my tablet, and I could just sit it beside me and be like, all right, perfect. I don't have to pull that fucking map up at all.
Here's my next quest. Here's my next waypoint. I'm always in menus setting waypoints.
Whereas pulling out in and out of menus. Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember if we talked about this or not, but I guess at E3...
Your memory's getting bad. How old are you?
What?
Your memory's getting bad. How old are you?
42. Intellivision is planning to come back with a new console called Amico in 2020.
So this dropped just after we recorded last week.
Yeah, and I think I believe it was announced at E3 or teased at E3 or announced around E3.
Yeah, they made the announcement that Intellivision was coming back and that they were going to do a new console. So that was like announced. Intellivision and Television. Fucking pick one. I don't give a shit. Intellivision.
It's all good. I've just never heard it said like that.
Anyways. Fuck. Semantics. Anyways. So they said that they were going to be coming back and we're going to
show you more in October.
Yeah. And now we're finding out more. And what the fuck?
Yeah. It looks all right. Every game is said to be exclusive, costs less than $8 with no DLC or in-app purchases.
It's also a 2D only console.
Remakes of like classic Intellivision games, Bluetooth controllers, color touchscreens on the controllers. It looks, I don't know, like a foot massager. It's a weird looking console.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's pretty. What's the saying?
They're saying that it's going to be between $150 and $180. So it is only a 2D console. So they're saying this is not designed to be running all the brand new 3D hotness. It's not going to run Red Dead Redemption or anything like that.
No,
it's designed to.
Pretty sure it's an Android
the next version of the Intellivision is what they're saying.
I'm sure
they kind of want to take all those games and remake them now prettier and so on, but still in 2D.
My guess is it's an Android box with an emulator.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I
remember the Intellivision.
It's funny to me because I look at it and I think that maybe this could work a bit. Like if you hit the right market with the right price point and you made the game, like if you're making 2D games that were just fun to play, and I'm not saying it's going to set the world on fire, but I could see myself being interested in it at least.
$150 is already too much money.
150 American, yeah, because that's going to be something Canadian. It's essentially going to be $200.
That's already too much. I don't know. I guess we'll see in 2 years, but I guess for people, I don't know. I remember Intellivision back in the day. I played Intellivision. One of our friends had one, and I loved playing it. Had a lot of fun with it.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
my uncle had one I used to play.
I don't know. People got a lot of money, and I don't know. I have a feeling people are going to lose a lot of money.
For me, what actually loses me on this the most is actually the controller. The
controller
touch
looks
screen.
terrible.
Like it's this weird touchscreen idea where it looks like two iPods, and there's a rotary dial thing on the bottom and a touchscreen on the top, and
they're reminiscent.
That looks terrible. If they would have came out with a proper D-pad for 2D games,
yeah,
I'd be a lot more interested. But that is the one thing that I think could be
I just
awful.
don't think the Intellivision had that much of nostalgic love. Like, I don't think the people who... Intellivision... I don't think people really got nostalgic with consoles until the NES. Like, people liked their Atari and their Coleco and their Intellivision, but they didn't have the same games that had people that really fell in love with them. Like, oh yeah, I remember farting around with an Atari and an Intellivision and Coleco, but... No one's like, yeah, ColecoVision, man.
It's because a lot of those games were not great, right? A lot
of
them were
that's
bad
exactly
ports of arcade games. That was the key, right? A lot of them were bad arcade ports, right?
Not even. They were just terrible games.
Some of them were bad. Some of them were just shovelware. I mean, there's obviously some great stuff in there too, but this is way too early, but my gut says this is going to fall hard and be another terrible... What was that Android console you kickstarted a while ago? Yeah, I feel like this...
Kickstarted Ouya?
Did you not? I thought you did. You haven't.
I just bought it because it was a $99 Cody box.
Right.
It was good. It was a good streamer, an emulator box.
This is weird because this has got Tommy Tallarico, sorry, at the helm, which is odd to me. Like I have a lot of respect for that guy. Was a video game developer. He worked on the Genesis Aladdin game, for example. He's been doing video games live for the last
he's done
years.
Music and games for decades now.
Yeah, and then he announced that he was the chief executive officer of this thing, and I was like, what? I don't know. I think he maybe hitched his horse to the wrong cart. I don't know.
Or someone else hitched theirs to whatever.
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out in 2 years if it comes out.
Yeah.
Facebook reportedly cancels its next generation Oculus 2 Rift headset for PC. So there was a story last week on TechCrunch. According to them, co-founder and former CEO Brendan Uribe, who is leading development on the Rift 2, has left Oculus.
I did hear that.
And then apparently chatter behind the scenes was that his vision and Facebook's vision for the future of Rift were very different, and that no one's gone on record per se from Facebook that basically they canned the Rift 2, and he's like, okay, well, I don't want to make weak ass VR headsets.
Is that honestly the wrong move though?
No, I don't think so. If you're dedicated to high end gaming and that's what you want to do, and they want to go
for sure,
they want to go the weak ass cell phone integrated headset like lame VR version, I would be like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out.
My question was actually in regards to, I don't necessarily think that not releasing an Oculus 2, I mean, I'm sure they'll release one at some point, but I don't know if right now, like, I don't feel like that technology has moved forward far enough for them to bother releasing one outside of having like slightly better screens. Like, what are you really going to get? Like PC video cards are almost exactly the same as they were 2 years ago.
And that's not the problem. The problem with VR is the fact that you need a PC, the fact that they're tethered by cords, they're not wireless.
But this is my point. Like people are saying like, oh, well, they should be building Oculus 2. And my question though is ultimately like, we have Oculus now and we still haven't seen like great games coming out for it.
It's true.
Is that a problem with the current technology? No, it's that's kind of on like the video game developers at this point. Like, it's funny because the PSVR is arguably one of the weakest as far as specs goes.
It's true, and it's the most successful.
Easily has the most, like, the biggest user base and some of the best games.
Yeah, people are finding
that have come out for it
on that platform. Devs are finding success on that platform for sure. Yeah,
and I feel like that's what we need to have is more people playing VR games. That's the key here, not less people. So I mean, I don't think that Facebook wanting to go more down market and trying to get more people into VR is a bad idea.
No, it's not. That's true. That's definitely.
I think obviously, like for this guy, you know, maybe leaving, you know, that's up to him, and that's what he wants to do. That's fair, but like, I don't think that the Oculus right now, like, I don't think a Rift 2 would do anything for the market ultimately. Like, the wireless technology is not there yet.
No, from a business standpoint, you're absolutely right.
Like, if
I guess it could be frustrating though.
The Oculus needs to come down in price. Like, that's the big thing that's holding VR back is,
and it has come down a lot.
The games aren't there. They're not burning up. Like, there's not that must-have game.
Astrobot Rescue Missions on PSVR, the best VR game ever.
Yeah, and Moss finally came out on the PC, which is amazing. That is still one of my favorite VR experiences that I've played. That game's amazing. I haven't yet played Astrobot Rescue, but I absolutely plan on it.
PC VR has definitely not set the world on fire, and it is that barrier to entry, right?
So, I mean, I just think, like, I see Facebook wanting to move towards a standalone VR to try and bring it down market and get more people interested in it. I don't think that that's a bad idea.
Sense.
You know?
It's not a bad idea. That's true.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes sense for him if he wants to just do the super high end version, and they're like, that's still 4 or 5 years out, right?
I mean, I feel like at this point we're seeing HTC. They're the ones pushing hard on the Vive. Yeah. They're pushing forward on that cutting edge, with the really, really expensive high end stuff.
I've never even seen a Vive Pro. I don't even know anyone who has one.
I've never seen the Vive Pro in the world.
Doesn't speak very good for the state of PC VR either, though, right? So,
but this is my point, though, is like I think that there is that niche, and that's fine. But I think that like if Oculus becomes the good enough, affordable enough VR, similar to what PSVR is for PlayStation, that can absolutely work.
Yeah, I guess that would be a success in their books.
Because I think what a lot of people forget is a lot of times it's not the absolute best of these things and these technologies that sort of win, if you will. A lot of it is if you can get good enough for the mainstream.
Yeah,
that's all it takes. That's all that matters for a lot of people. It's good enough,
as witnessed by the success of the Wii.
Yeah, absolutely. Or the MP3. Like MP3s kind of sound like shit, but at the end of the day, for most people, they're good enough.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of people still watch DVDs and they're happy with them because it's good enough.
Yeah.
And that's why jumping to 1080p and to 4K, even for a lot of people, they're just like,
I'm good with my HD. It's good enough.
Exactly.
Fuck, some people still can't even tell the difference of HD and standard def.
Exactly. So,
moving along. Battlefield 5 gets its Battle Royale mode March 2019. I don't know. Not much else to say besides that. So if you're looking forward to their Battle Royale, you'll get to play it next year.
I think this is either a really dumb, a really bad thing for them, because by then nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
Or
it's a good thing
it's good because they're moving out of obviously the fall when everybody is absolutely inundated with all of these amazing games that are currently playing.
And they've concentrated on their already successful multiplayer game and single player.
Sure.
And not taking away devs from that to work on a half-baked Battle Royale mode and release something that's good later on.
Yeah, I hope you said, their Battle Royale mode I'm hoping that it just feels so different that it is something that they actually that sets them apart. And already I don't know if I feel that, like the way that they've already announced. And I mean, to be fair, this could totally change between now and March, but already announcing that it's going to be 64 players. Well, Battlefield already has 64 player maps. There's nothing new there. And you already play in squads in Battlefield, so there's also nothing new there. Like, really, is this even Battle Royale at this point? Like, it really just sounds like a bigger Battlefield map.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, which is partly why I say by March, like, will anybody care? Like, I don't know.
Blackout's pretty sweet in Black Ops 4, though. But I like Call of Duty engine better than Battlefield, so I'm not even gonna pick. I'm not even getting Battlefield 5. I got the last one. I played. I didn't care that much, and it's like,
if they want to send it my way, I'll gladly play it.
Well, EA doesn't give me anything, so
yeah.
Magically, if they do, I'll let you know. But I'm just not even going to pretend that I care. Counter-Strike Pro, who was caught cheating. This was last week. This story broke, but we didn't talk about it. This is a follow-up. He's been banned for 5 years. He was caught cheating mid-tournament, apparently, with an aimbot. What an idiot. What an idiot. Like, that's like stealing from your work with a video camera, knowing there's a video camera watching you. Like, what are you doing? That's like your income. Are you stupid?
Oh. That's... I guess it doesn't matter as long as there's money and there's stuff on the line. People are going to try and have an edge. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's... Yeah. I mean, yes, absolutely. Like, fucking ban his ass. Like, in my opinion, they should also fine the shit out of him, but
It's kind of hard to find a kid who probably doesn't make a lot of money to begin with. But yeah, man, that's going to set an example to anyone out there. And there's a lot of people who cheat in online video games.
It's just crazy to me. He had an SSD card, and yeah.
If you're going to cheat, you're going to go to great lengths to cheat. You're going to get busted, especially when the stuff's all recorded and streamed. What are you doing?
I'm just amazed, though, that he was even able to, why would you even be able to have anything?
That's the surprise. That's the surprising part, that you could even install stuff or access stuff on these computers. But I guess technically they're all connected to the internet. So even if you didn't have something, if the security wasn't set up correctly, you could always quickly, during a practice round, freaking install something from the internet, I guess.
I don't think it was installed, though. I don't think it was something that needed to be installed. From what I can tell, it was something that just ran in the background. And that's how he got caught. It says right here, he was seen trying to close the window in which the cheat file was housed as a tournament organizer checked his PC. So, yeah, this sounds like a situation where they were bringing in their own PCs. This doesn't sound like the PCs were, everybody was playing on the same PC, which kind of amazes me, because I feel like that's at that level, you would think that everybody would be playing on the same PC. The only thing that you should be able to bring that's yourself is a keyboard and a mouse. Do you know what I mean? That to me seems, but again, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what that tournament is like, right? If is it essentially a LAN party that you're a part of? It's odd. But either way, so
what a tool. Apparently he'd been warned for stuff before, eh?
Really? Wow.
Moving along. PlayStation news, Spider-Man update. Now New Game Mode Plus is available. Also the Heist DLC or Black Cat DLC is available as well. I did get that provided to me from PlayStation as well. I unfortunately have not had a chance to play it, as I've been trying to wrap up Assassin's Creed. But New Game Plus, that's cool for those people who are looking for more stuff to do. But now you got DLC, so whoop, whoop. You don't really need to play the whole game over again. You got some new content.
Plus Black Cat's rad, so
she looks pretty rad. Days Gone has been delayed to April 2019. This came out on the PlayStation blog.
Probably not a terrible idea, seeing
I'm not upset.
Getting dropped the same day as Anthem and a bunch of other games.
Exactly. I'm not upset or disappointed or angry, and I don't think this is anything to worry about, because I played the game at E3. I liked what I played. Mm-hmm. I'm totally going to pick up this game. I just think it is, get it away from Anthem and everything else that comes. March was already freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. January, February, March is going to be almost worse than this fall.
Yeah. No, seriously. So
Kingdom Hearts 3 in January, Anthem in February. Yeah,
so that's good. People have been playing with the name changes for PS4 apparently in the beta preview program.
All right.
And some more info has come out. There's been a gigantic list of warnings, and sounds like, unless your name is really, really bad, it seems like something you might not want to do, because it says that you could lose purchases, DLC, save game files, progress. It just seems like you really have to have a really bad name if you're even going to bother.
This honestly sounds like a fucking clusterfuck.
It absolutely does. Hence why it's in beta. Maybe
I'm honestly amazed. After reading this, I'm amazed that they're even bothering. At this point, it's who is this worth? Honestly, is this worth losing games and save?
I guess for the people who really want it, at that point, just create a new freaking account and abandon your old one.
You may lose your programs,
or you keep your old account.
Parts of your games and applications may not function.
You could keep your old account on your PS4 and just make a new one, right?
Yeah.
The only thing you'd really technically lose in that instance is your trophy level and trophies, which are fucking pointless anyway. Stupid internet EPing points. Oh. But like, as long as you kept your old account, don't change your name. Just make a new account for free. Start fresh with a new name. Costs you nothing, and your old account can still live on your PS4 indefinitely as your master account or whatever. Right. It doesn't even need to be a master account. It just needs to be on your PS4, and you'll still have access to all your old games and content. Seems like a more elegant solution than breaking everything to just change your name.
You may lose access to content, including paid for, that you have acquired for your games. You may lose your progress within games, including game save data, leaderboard data, and progress towards trophies. Parts of your games and applications may not function properly. Like this,
stupid.
I guess I'm lucky because I don't want to change my name, so I don't really care. This to me is just like, eh.
It doesn't officially come out till next year, so maybe some of this stuff will get ironed out.
Fair enough.
Moving along, Microsoft is bringing Xbox Game Pass to PC.
I was already using this on PC.
Play Anywhere and Game Pass are different, though.
I guess because I was using Game Pass to then download Forza Horizon, that was allowing me to play Forza Horizon on my PC.
Play Anywhere on your PC?
Like, yeah, so as a side bonus of Games Pass with Play Anywhere, I just like, yeah, okay. Because like right now, yeah, if you have Games Pass, you can play Sea of Thieves on PC. And I know this for a fact because a friend of mine, I gave a friend of mine a month of like Games Pass because he was complaining and he's like, I don't know if I want to buy it. And
I guess that removes
just play it on Games Pass and see if it sucks or not. And he did it and he played it on PC for a month fine. But I guess you're right. It's technically a side bonus because of the Play Anywhere. It's not actually the Games Pass.
Yeah. So I imagine this is just going to alleviate some confusion, and then more games will move to PC as well in time as well. So it kind of makes sense. Like you said, it kind of already is on PC.
Yeah, I mean, any of those games that you're able to access on PC that would otherwise work fine on. I mean, I guess like you said, the Games Anywhere, because of Games Pass, that's how that works. So,
let's say a date here. Yeah,
no,
say a date here.
It just says next in the coming months.
So clearly, the amount of games available on PC is going to grow. So that's not a bad thing.
Oh, you know what it is? It's the other games. It's so Games Pass lets PC players play those like the first party titles, but you don't get any of the 90 plus other games from third party publishers. So that's going to be the difference with the Games Pass or Game Pass on PC is that you're actually going to get access to all the other ones as well. So that's cool. I mean, Netflix for games. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, about this. They're streaming their Project X Cloud. Microsoft's been making a lot of moves for the long game.
Well, that's what everybody wants because they know that if they can get you paying every month, that there's a good chance you'll just continue to do so, and they'll have you locked in for years.
Yeah, especially for the people who only buy a game or two a year, you probably make more money off the person who's just on monthly recurring payments, right?
Because they know that people are they're going to jump on it. They're going to keep paying for it.
But it's convenient,
they might only use
right?
it a few times a year, right?
Yeah, even if you only play one game a month, it's worth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Netflix. Like I'll go months without watching anything on Netflix.
Wow.
And then 1 month I'll watch like 3, 4, 5 things binge, right?
We watch I would say our Netflix gets turned on every day.
That's a lie. Ever since I had my daughter, we use Netflix every day.
Yeah.
But
oh no, we watch stuff like every day.
I swear I probably had a year where I barely used it.
Since I got it, we have used it a lot.
But I also have like
that's a lot.
I'm weird though too, right? Because I also have TV in every channel because of my work.
Yeah, you also get all the movies and all the
so
whatnot,
the demand for Netflix is a little lesser when you have everything as already.
It's true,
but we don't have everything because all the Netflix exclusive content is pretty freaking great. And I started watching that Haunting on House Hill or whatever it's called.
Oh, it looked too scary for me.
It did, man. I'm watching it while working out, and I'm getting scared in the freaking broad daylight.
I heard it's scary as balls. So
I'm like, oh, this is good. I kind of want to punish my wife and make her watch it with me.
I've heard of people like passing out and people vomiting from it. And,
what?
Yeah.
It's just ghosts. I haven't seen anything gory or anything, but it is freaky. I'm not gonna lie. I may or may not have had a nightmare the first night that I went to sleep after watching it. I was freaking out about ghosts in my house,
dude. Ghosts,
so Dane,
man. Scary shit.
I think we're done. This is a nice, short, compact show. A day late as well.
Yeah, we are recording a day late.
I have to run out the door to go pick up my copy of Red Dead.
Wait, you bought a physical copy?
Well, it's a long story. I bought it. Again, I got another price error on Red Dead.
Okay.
So I'm going to buy it today. And when I get the other copy, I'm going to return it to the store because I paid $50 for it physically.
So where are you going? Oh, so
I'm going to Best Buy to pick it up. But I got a price error of it on... You know what I mean? I want it today. I don't want to wait for the shipped copy, which I don't think is even shipped, which means it wouldn't be here tomorrow. It would be here again next bloody week. So, anyway.
Huh. Wow, you're a sucker.
I want to play it now, so I'm going to go buy it. And when I get that sealed copy, I'm going to kindly return it back to Best Buy and go, oh, here you go. My wife bought it already. I didn't need this.
But aren't they not going to accept it because you've opened it?
No, it'll be sealed. I'll be returning the sealed $50 copy that's going to arrive here next week. Does that make sense?
Got you. Yep.
Okay.
Clear.
But I want to play it now.
Got you.
And I don't want to get it digitally because I have to pay full price when I've already paid $50 for it online.
What place is doing it at 9? Like, I'm amazed that they're doing it so early.
Best Buy and EB.
At 9?
It's because of the West Coast thing, right? It goes live. Like, if you ordered it digitally, you could play it tonight at 9 p.m.
Right, but generally speaking, they are not allowed to sell it till midnight if it's physical.
It's midnight back east.
Oh, weird.
It's a new thing. Anyway.
I don't know. The last time I went to a quote-unquote midnight opening, I ended up leaving and going home and downloading it digitally because I got tired of the line that was after standing there for an hour and a half or whatever it was. So
that's terrible. That's what I'm getting it at Best Buy. You walk in, walk out.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Housekeeping. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no KRICF.
You can always come hang out with me on Twitter at Dane Cody at DAYNECODY.
Make sure to like, follow, subscribe.
Tell a friend.
Follow YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Tell another friend.
Geekoholics everywhere at all the social medias. Of course, yes, like Dane said, tell a friend. And if you happen to be using an Apple device on Apple Podcasts or iTunes on your Mac OS device, leave us a review. It's a little favor we ask to help us float up in that logarithm of podcasts on the interwebs and discover more listeners, of course. And yeah, that's about it. I don't think I have anything else. I think we're good.
That's it. We're done.
Yep, that's it. We're done. Short but sweet.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Later.
Peace.